We are rock and rolling now. Apologise to anybody that has not been experiencing the stream for the last few minutes. We're going to see, make sure we are firing all cylinders. We seem to be back in business. So hopefully everybody can see us now. But yeah, Naisbit going about his lap. He's going to the middle sector now, as he's just coming through turn 5 into 6. Oh, sorry, through turn 11. A bit distracted whilst we try and organise a stream. It was set and going, all intents and purposes. On my end, it was working. But
well, it wasn't. You're lying.
But we can clearly see it's up and going now, because we can see people watching.
So, guys, welcome to the stream. I mean, we had a great intro. We had a song and a dance, a sing-song. You missed it all, but yeah.
To save Retro's voice to go into the standings again, you can find that all on SimGrid as we engage in a one-stop qualifying. As Naisbit goes for initial first blast, and then we've got other people coming across the line. That's Travaglioli coming across the line. Where is our man of the hour, Mr. Vermeulen, topping the timing sheets as ever. Others coming across the line, that'll be Serfontaine, who's got himself P9. 713 comes across the line. This is Mr. Grafe in the 2 shades of grey and 1 orange. Puts himself into P5. So for those who aren't too familiar with the format, this is a one-shot qualifying, which is why you've seen the drivers all peel off straight away. We'll try and pick somebody at random for their final few corners. We picked up Ergio. Not too sure, but he enters the Coca-Cola curve now to try and slot himself into the pack. In the highly multicoloured McLaren, what can he do as he crosses the line? Goes P13. Got a few more cars just coming towards the line as well. And it is Adam Sharp. Going for P27. Usually a good qualifier, Mr. Sharp. Very good qualifying. P3 for him. Others coming towards the line include car number 21. If we can find them fast enough. This is Handley. Puts himself up in P8. A few more coming around as well. This is car number 33. This is the other Sharp in the Ferrari with the bright green rims. So apologise for anybody who's missed any of the actions so far. Hopefully this has also been shared to the Discord. As I can see, you're starting to join now. Thank you for joining us. Sorry for the technical difficulties initially. For all intents and purposes from my end, it was working.
You and technology is like you and your driving standards around Watkins Glen on Taco Tuesday.
Whoa!
Ooh.
Just one back marker, just didn't want to. And presiding over those proceedings was Mr. Brown. I'm going to preside over his and him going P9. Car number 79 is still yet to set a lap as well. That being, I don't know, seems to have done. Car 888 hasn't though. This is Leica, usually a very good qualifier for us. Currently set in P35, but this is all about to change. 888 is looking at the casino. Is it lucky on the track? We're expecting to be somewhere near the top, as he is. P3, second row for him. So the two battlers for the wins in previous races against Vermeulen, Travaglioli and Leica, setting good pace initially. So we have a top 8 lockout for the Pro Tier, with Vermeulen leading the way, no surprises there. Followed by Vermeulen, who got very close, only 2 tenths off the pace there. Followed by Leica, who we just saw come over across the line. P3 sharing the second row with Adam Sharp. Then M. Grace, P5, Nichelle in P6, Harvey in P7, and Naisbit in P8. A fantastic lap and a pole finish in the AM class, jumping all of the silver tier for Hand in P9, with Brown sharing the spotlight with him on the back row of the top 10. Followed by Grafe and Chumakovs for a P2 in the AM tier. Prentice in P13 for the Pro tier. Eden making his first appearance for the silver tier and a pole for that tier in P14. Followed by Jabino, P3 in the AM class in P15. With Clayton right in the middle of the pack, car number 500. With Heymans, P2 in class. starting across and one, back and across one from Eden. And Urgio in P18, Sharp P19, Colpitts in P20, and I'm going to rattle through the bottom 20 drivers who have Townsend, Richings, Critelli, Gedman, Robert, Couters, Van der Waal, Coppens, Felix, Serpentine, top 30, then Kukubalakis, Thacker, and then we had Filomeno, Cablo, Van Vlotten, Melotti, Dreadlock Steve, Derrick, and K. Smith, all electing not to set a lap in sprint qualifying. So as I said, for those of you that aren't too familiar with the format, I'll just show it how it appears on our screen. So you will have the free practice that we've already had, and then the sprint qualifying that we've just had, followed by a 20-minute sprint race. No need to pit unless you are incredibly damaged, because you don't need to take fuel, you don't need to take tyres, you can just pedal to the metal from start to finish. And then we have a qualifying 2 of 15 minutes, so the drivers get more than one lap, try and take the pressure off, to set up for a longer race 2 of 40 minutes, where once again they're not required to pit again. Now this game does seem to not want to give me the camera I want this evening, so once we get the formation lap begun, I'm going to have to fiddle with the camera just momentarily, but we will make sure to bring you all the action from the first corner. But
so interesting to see, like you say, buddy, 39 drivers tonight on the Nurbergring. Definitely going to be tight through some of the corners and some of the curves.
Non-tighter than that turn 1 as well.
Well, yeah, exactly, turn 1. I mean, especially, say, the Dunlop curve, the Yokohama or the Coca-Cola curve, as some people call it, both curves on either end of the track. 39 drivers. I think the only reason if you're going to need to pit is obviously due to substantial damage, or if you're advertising WRC like our good friend Mr. Gordon Brown does, as he sends me snippets of his race on WRC and ACC after his Sunday sprint. But hopefully his Honda does him justice tonight.
I'm surprised he actually knows which game he's playing sometimes, you know. He has the same approach to every single game. Try and slide it across the grass.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, same thing. He spins a roulette wheel whenever he logs on. Just goes on his D-pad and just holds it down and shuts his eyes.
As the famous meme recently going around is when he's on the racetrack or the gravel track, he plants his foot, he only lifts until he sees God or a checkered flag.
So we are now within the last few seconds before the race gets underway. We have a short formation lap, only going from just before the NGK chicane, and then they'll be flying and ready to go, probably even before the last drivers actually come round the Coca-Cola curve. Must be really frustrating wanting to plant your foot to still be around that bend.
Well, I mean, all joking aside, buddy, I think it probably is either a good thing or a bad thing, considering the run down to turn 1, how M25 car parked it's going to be on turn 1.
So we've got a nice aerial shot of it, with Leica looking like he wants to take the win before the race has even started. And we are going to have only a momentary pause once we get the green lights as Vermeulen leads them forward. The start line comes very, very quickly, as we've already got a car of Melotti not wanting to start on the grid with everybody else. Maybe he didn't. As we are, go, Vermeulen on the inside, on the dirty stuff. He's going to have to do a lot to defend from Travaglioli.
The speed from Leica already.
Oh, it's like he gets himself boxed in, but the cars do open back up for him. He'll try and cut down the inside, but then he hasn't quite got alongside Travaglioli like he would have liked. Vermeulen does seem to have got away as Leica collides with Travaglioli. That's Travaglioli round. Disaster for him. He's going to have to everybody by. Multiple cars in the background as well. Also, it's all kicking off. Yeah. Big pile up.
Cars everywhere.
This start is a problem on this track. Vermeulen, though, you say thank you for that. He is off and he is away. Leica's got lots to answer for there as he decimates the cones. We've got Sharp closely following, closely being followed, sorry, by M. Grace as they enter towards the Dunlop curve. We'll wait to get some timings, and then we'll know where everybody is. And that's Brown. It's got a little bit deep behind the Shelley. And Brown trying to keep the Shelley on his best behaviour. One thing that's been introduced this week, a few drivers have had to put on this white livery for a cause of concern, just to try and uphold driver standards. So if you're seeing a lot more white cars tonight, that is why. But all seems clean since the first corner. It looks like, oh, as I say that, commentators curse, Brown goes wide, he's onto the gravel. He's having to let multiple cars pass, he destroys the Pirelli board. He's got a beamer on his inside.
He's getting swamped. Look at the speed of the cars behind.
And we're still following Brown as he is getting dropped like a hot potato down the grid. And he's now down in P16 from a starting position of P9. Up the grid, got Harvey in a very speedy Aston Martin trying to track down the boat. There's M. Grace in the BMW. And Shelley goes a little bit deep as he tries to follow them through. Just picked up Jabino in the wrong car, trying to chase down Clayton in the Aston Martin. I'm not going to let it go, Jabino. You're in the wrong car, mate. You saw how well you did on Taco.
Behind that, buddy, we do have Ergo or Ergio. So Cole Pitts there as well. Big G Brown mixed in there as well. Good bit of side by side through 1 and 2.
So Jabino is all over Clayton at this point. Trying to go round the outside Mercedes Arena 2. And he's going to try it again. Trying at every opportunity. And like you said, behind Ergio, really attacking the BMW. The BMW not firing up so far this race. And being attacked from all angles. It's a track for a nimble car. As now Ergio really, really keen on the back of Colpitts. This might be his opportunity as the track starts to pick up pace through the Schumacher S's. We drive it on the inside. No, not quite. Around the Michelin curb. Off and away. Here he goes. His opportunity. Colpitts goes defensive. Will there be a dive into the chicane? It looked like it was on. Does very well on the brakes to keep it stuck to the rear of Colpitts. This is an absolutely enthralling battle early on. Great car control to maintain the speed and then still stay in touch with Colpitts. Bit further up, looks like Grafer's going to have a go. It shows his nose to the inside, pulls back onto line. And Prentice just behind, seeing that move not come to fruition, closes really tightly up. Vermeulen doing a great job up front, dropping those behind him.
Here. Could we go 3 wide, turn 1, P31 there. I think that's Townsend, Thacker. I think that's Filomeno as well, who does gain out of that. 2 places in turn 1.
With Cablo still trying around the outside of Filomeno.
That's Korkamalakis there in the white and Porsche.
It's not been updated. Oh, as we have a collision, sends Cablo wide. But Cablo seems to have recovered it. But his not so nimble Bentley has not managed to find the speed up the inside. As the Bentley tries again. Ooh, almost another touch up the rear of Korkamalakis. As we go back a little bit further up, got De Rick in the Ferrari chasing down the McLaren of Van der Waal. 2 household names.
What a move there. Unfortunately, I think you might have flicked off that, buddy. So I just watched that battle a little bit. Korkamalakis went deep into the Dunlop curve and Cablo said thank you very much and takes a position off him.
I think Filomeno has just lost a position to one of the Porsches as well.
So you had the two drivers that he managed to overtake in turn 1 have slipped back past him, so that is Thacker and Townsend.
That's the BMW. Fenomeno tries to go down the inside and gets it done. And Chicane takes a bit of the inside rumple, but manages to keep it stuck. Oh, as Cablo just...
Who's that? There's a car on the inside. Car on the inside.
That's... car 22.
No, there's a green Ferrari I saw on the inside. I think that's Cooters.
As he goes to the pits. So it's all kicking off so far tonight. It's a tricky track. As we've got a huge battle occurring in the middle of this pack. All headed by the BMW. So many BMWs out there tonight, but they do seem to be struggling. Got Handy further up, who's got quite a chase going on behind him. Always great behind him, puts on one hell of a drift, but manages to keep it pinned. For a moment I saw the green Ferrari and I thought, that's not Vermeulen, is it?
That's what I thought initially.
Super tricky around here, but all the best players are coming out. Oh, as we go back to P20, Van der Waal was having to really defend from the Porsche. I mean, yeah, that's Gedman. Doesn't seem too happy.
Seems to be flashing. So the timing screen's not updated. It still shows Gedman in front of Van der Waal.
And it's now got De Rick, who's been pushed back towards. Looking very feisty is De Rick. Van der Waal's not going to give a position up if he gets overtaken.
Really interesting to see De Rick running the all-white livery. I wouldn't have thought De Rick's a liability.
There was a lot of instances last week in qualifying that the stewards weren't too happy about. De Rick opens his line. Will there be a cutback? Gedman in the well-planted Porsche on the rear, probably the best accelerating car in the game. Go forward. Clayton is still managed, as mentioned earlier, had Jabino at the back and still has Jabino at the back of him, but now Clayton is underneath the rear wing of Andrew Eden as he heads down towards the Dunlop curve. The Aston Martin is an absolute demon in a straight, and there's battles going on absolutely everywhere. Even further up, another Aston Martin chasing down another barge in the BMW of M. Grace. This battle is developing. Van der Waal, who was the leader of this pack, has now caught up to Coppens. Maybe an ailing Ferrari there, and Coppens definitely doesn't seem to have the confidence that Van der Waal has. But now, behind him, this is Gedman getting overtaken in the Porsche. Round the outside, goes to Rick, and he's got that one done. Gedman not having the night that he wanted. As further up, got Townsend went a little bit wide now, and now that he's under pressure from Fenomeno in the very fast BMW, it's a lot of the inside curve in an attempt to straighten this one up. So Townsend partially covers the inside line. Only needs to cover it partially. Cablo close as well. Cablo gets caught up by the curb. We go back to Clayton, has managed to drop Jabino that little bit. Got a bit of breathing room to really put one on Eden now. And the Aston Martin really starting to establish itself as a new powerhouse within ACC. But the old Titans, the Ford and the BMW are still putting the power down.
Oh, who was that I saw?
160.
Can't quite see. 160.
That's Van der Vloten.
Van Vloten. I think he touched with a back marker there.
Oh, what unfortunate, as the white car's getting in more trouble.
Oh, I might be mistaken actually. I think that might have been Coppins. It was a red and blue Ferrari.
Now, Clayton does seem to have dropped off the back of Eden now, and crucially, back into the clutches of Jabinho, even in the wrong car.
It still cracks me up how you mispronounce his name every time.
Jabinho? I give it a Jabinho, don't I? Like he's Ronaldinho or something. I go forward to Grafe on Handley, as we have support for Fenomeno in the chat. Thank you, Cristiano. Many boats astern here, but Grafe does seem to have a good exit. He's closing in on Handley as they enter towards turn 1. And he does flick to the inside. Is he good enough for the brakes? No, he's not. But this is doing wonders for Prentice, holding on to these two. We've got De Rix still pressing on Van der Waal, but Gedman. Oh, that's where Coppins went. Coppins has dropped down to P21, so Coppins hasn't escaped. He's actually dropped behind this group.
Sorry, buddy. Got a good fight. P26 into turn 1.
Oof! As Q Robert just manages to keep his nose clean. Kokomalakis looking for it around the outside.
So initially it was Q Robert and Thacker there for turn 1, but I think Thacker gets a good nose there, but Q Robert goes wide, invites Kokomalakis in, but shuts the door on him. This little three-way Porsche battle.
Huge battle for the core positions in the AM tier. Kokomalakis a little bit deep into turn 5.
Oh, slightly further up front as well, buddy. You got Handley, who has just been overtaken by Grafe.
And there's a battle behind
looks
as well.
He's also got in front. Timing's not quite updated just yet, but Grafe is in front of Handley, and Prentice has jumped both of them.
We've just caught Chumakov's being rear-ended by Clayton there, but they does seem to still be stable. So Clayton's going to throw his nose to the inside.
Look at Eden behind. Oh, big closing speed there from the Mustang.
I think Clayton might have this. Clayton has got loads of speed coming into turn 1. He did disrupt Chumakov's coming into the final turn. Does he dare it on the brakes? It's a tough corner to get right. He goes for it. Big dive to the inside. Excellent corner that parks it on the apex. We know a man in this chat that loves to park stuff on the apex.
If you got a problem, change your car.
But then Clayton has Chumakov's come back at him, but he's going to have to stay touch with Hemmings. But Jabinho, now with much better drive than Eden, out of turn 4, lines him up to turn 5 and down the hill. It's not really an overtaking spot, it's just a long corner, but you can get your speed out and then into the Dunlop curve. But Urgio's also bringing himself very much a part of this group. Harvey's had to settle in further up behind Grace, but half a second gap is comfortable enough. But the Aston does look very good on the brakes. Oh, as further back we've got Urgio really pressuring Jabinho as they come into Michelin curve. Urgio has to back off momentarily. Maybe not the best turn there. He loses Jabinho a little bit. As I've now picked up this Porsche battle again. P26, 27, 28. Oh, it's behind. It's Cablo being overtaken by Van Vloten. Van Vloten tries to go round the outside. Cablo's still there, very respectful. Doesn't go deep, doesn't send him out. Let's Van Vloten have all the space necessary to make that overtake stick.
slightly further down, I believe. The good little battle between Felix and Serpentine there. Come around the final corner, Serpentine trying to stick his nose around the outside. It's a good run out the final corner.
Looks like he may have left the slipstream a little bit too early. He's going to need that from the BMW if he's going to make a dive into the first turn here. So the power difference between the Ferrari and the BMW. Serpentine tries for a cutback. Oh, it's on!
What a move!
Felix absolutely dummied Felix into that one. Felix would be kicking himself if he's let that one go. But big battles behind. This Porsche battle still ongoing. It's like Q Robert has got himself ahead of Thacker. Thacker's not giving it up yet though. And then Cablo's suffering behind. But not quite enough for Kukumalakis to have a sniff. Serpentine now drops Felix. Time screen's taking a little bit of a while to update. Do apologise.
Just in front, buddy, we've got Gabino and Ergio once again going down to the chicane. Oh, Ergio getting a bit too keen on the curb in there. That did cost him.
Oh, Ergio switches back. Oh my goodness, the car control needed. Both drivers getting very shaky over different curbs. Oof. With great commitment on the brakes. Great closing speed. Will he also have the exit speed? It looks like he does, you know. Gabino goes defensive to the inside. Ergio tries to encourage him over the marbles successfully. Ergio breaks deep. Too deep. Can he hold it? Gabino, experienced racer, goes to the outside, but he hasn't quite got alongside enough. Gabino then has to go deep on the brakes himself to try and find it around the outside. Gabino's still been given space, but I think this one is lost unless he can send it around the outside again. Can he carry the speed? No. And then he has to be cautious with the attacking Jay Sharp behind him. That's Brown. That's Brown, actually. This timing scenes, I'm trying to read it all on the fly.
It didn't change. It was G Brown the whole time.
No, I mean the timing screen didn't change. I'm just flicking my eyes. I should know that neon green wherever it appears.
It?
We're here to bring the close battles, even if the commentators call the names out wrong. But De Rick still fancying Van der Waal. This battle's gone on for a little while for P18. Van der Waal just seems to do great things when he's not taking his hands off the wheel to go punch a marshal.
Speaking of punching marshals, I think there was a bit of hokery pokery. We've got Felix, who's got Van Vlotten behind him, and Q Robert hot on the heels, but the timing did just change. But Vlotten and Robert have switched, but look at the run from Vlotten on Felix now, out the curve, through the Michael Schumacher S.
And that's Robert as well, and that pushing of Felix wide has allowed one through. Will it allow another? Robert attempts around the outside, thinks there's an opportunity for a switchback. There isn't. This is going to be a big move from Robert here. He does have Felix in his sight. That's one hell of a car to try and get stopped into this chicane. Does seem to do okay this time, but look at the speed Robert has managed to claw out through here. Takes a wide entry. Tries to find the speed, carry the speed round the final corner. Use all the exit speed that Porsche can muster. Jump into the slipstream and see if you can do anything for Felix. And that is... Was that Van Vlotten pulling off? There's Cablo. What happens to Cablo there? Cablo just down and deep. I wonder what happened there.
Not quite sure, buddy.
As Van Vlotten has gone back to the pits. Strange things are happening on this racetrack this evening.
So I'm pretty sure we did have notification from race control Mr. Jazzman is coming round the final corner of race 1, guys. Don't go anywhere. It is now going to go to a short sprint to set the grid for race 2, so do not go anywhere. It's only going to get more spicy for race 2.
And this is Sharp coming around to collect P3. We'll catch all the battles as they come towards the line. Grace does see off Harvey, sees off Michele. Prentice has still got Grafe all over the back of him, but I think he's going to see this one off. And Eden being chased down by Urgio, who made a great charge this race.
I think the battle is still alive between Felix and Robert.
So here's one that could really go to the line. What about Heyman's though? No, Heyman's is comes the line with a bit of time to spare. Does look like Felix does just about have Robert covered. Unless Robert can really find some speed into this final corner. He does go deep on the brakes, but I think that's cost him more than it's gained him. Hang on, he's found some speed, but this line's going to come very quick. And he gets it done. Unsure what happened with Cablo. He lost a lot of speed, a lot of places in turn 1 just a couple of laps ago. So just like a flash, race 1 is over. As Travaggioli, caught up in first corner dramas, finishes multiple laps down in the pits. As that brings an end to race 1. Do not go anywhere. We have a 15-minute qualifying for you to enjoy, which will set the grid for race 2. So drama galore in that one, Retro.
Yeah, it definitely is, buddy. So this track is quite narrow on certain corners, so it does catch quite a few drivers out. Like turn 1, we said, it will either make or break you, and obviously these drivers doing the sprint format have no obligation to pit. So unfortunately, if they are pitting, they are losing out, obviously due to substantial damage or grass removal from G Brown's wheel arches when he goes drifting. But other than that, buddy, I mean, it's the Nurbergring GP. It's a fantastic thing to watch, and great for you guys at home because we get to sit back and watch all the drama and all the action happens. But if you do want to get involved with the action, do drop a comment, and one of the admins will put a link to the Discord in your inbox or attached to this video so you can get involved with the racing. If it's anything racing, sim related or anything like that, FRL, Formula Racing League does have you covered. And if you do want to get that extra shiny blue Peter badge, you can join our Patreon server as little as £3 a month to get your special race number reserved, behind the scenes, juicy info, special reserve priority, and many more benefits. Say as little as £3 a month, guys. You get your own practice server, loads of additional benefits, and you get more stuff than us commentators get, really. I mean, what more do you want than that?
They want our souls. That's all they want. They're not for sale.
It's not Halloween yet, buddy. We can't promote that stuff yet.
But no, it's a fantastic place to be. So there's so much stuff you dig your teeth into, whether it's just watching us, whether you'd like and subscribe to the stream, to the channel, or getting involved in the racing. I've been here for a little while and I've enjoyed pretty much every single race I've had here. It's a great bunch of guys, very clean, fair racing, so it's well worth getting yourself stuck in. No matter what your racing pedigree is, everybody's here to learn, everybody's here to race, everybody's here to have fun. So do look to get involved. And if you haven't already, look to share the stream. We're always looking out to reach a new audience, to share the joys of sim racing. Just as much fun as the real stuff, but no chance of anybody getting hurt.
So just to add on to that as well, we do cover other games, as previously bullied and mentioned Mr. G Brown on WRC. We do cover that, GT7, F1, Assetto Corsa competition only, maybe Evo when it comes out, who knows. But anything sim related, guys, do get involved. It is the best place to be. We cover multiple nights a week. We have Taco Tuesday, which I believe there is going to be an off-season late night extreme weather series again for all you try-hard, sweaty, wet drivers. Get your welly boots up because I believe the extreme weather series is coming back. Possibly late night Thursday again as well if it's already still going or on a break. And obviously Super Sprint Sunday and many more.
So yeah, so much to get yourself stuck into, and we're your guides for this evening. 713 seems to be the first one to come out for the longer qualifying format. I'm just going to find him. 713. That is Sergio, who had a great race last time out. He seemed to keep his nose clean. Seems to get good positions made.
I've only just seen the comments from G Brown on the stream. Last Honda standing. I mean, you wasn't really the last Honda standing from the Red Bull Ring or Watkins Glen, buddy. But I mean, third time's a charm, right?
Yeah, you keep persevering, Brown. You got this. Has he paid us for that mention yet? But no, we do applaud Gordon Brown with his endeavours with the Honda. It's a tricky car, so he says, and he deserves to be applauded for it.
That's not that kind of stream, buddy.
As I think I've just seen Sergio let Vermeulen through for his lap, so we're going to cover Vermeulen, the man who's been setting the legal light with his ferocious speed. Let's watch how the Masters do it. He does have a bit of traffic entering turn 1, but that won't distract him. Just narrowly misses the apex for turn 1, which seems fine. It's a long braking corner. Crucially now you get your speed up. Use a little bit of the curbing on the outside. We brake downhill once again. Hug this inside line. Don't carry too much speed into that corner. Make sure you've got the control to throw the car out and swing it through turn 4 down towards turn 5. Reduce minimal speed coming downhill here at turn 6. Let the car naturally swing into this corner. There is a little bit of camber to play with. Disappears on the exit, but now smash your foot to the floor down towards the Dunlop curb. Braking a lot later than I ever dare to down there. And off he goes. Pick up the throttle as soon as you dare, coming out of the Dunlop curb. Through the Schumacher S. And once again, another chicane to deal with. And he's going to have to deal with the Porsche that's just ahead of him. And we get to see a master at work going through the final chicane. How much curbing does he dare take? How much speed does he dare carry? Not too much on entry, as I think he's backed out. But I do suspect there will be a time here nonetheless, because he didn't validate anywhere. A 1:55.5, yeah, considering he did a 1:53 last time out, I do think he's backed out there. Just to give everybody a bit of hope. I've picked up Townsend in his purple McLaren, just coming through the final corners as well. As Naisbitt with a 1:55.3 goes pole for now. I expect Vermeulen to come back against that. Travaggioli has put in a more realistic pole time of a 1:54.3. Townsend 2 seconds down from that. What else can we see? What about Coppens? In the middle sector now. Usually somebody dabbling around the mid-pack. in his red and blue Ferrari. He does seem to be flashing traffic ahead of him, which I don't believe is going to get out of the way by the time he gets to the chicane. There's a fair bit of curb, both on entry and exit. Powers towards the line. Where can he place himself initially? P15, just ahead of Vanderwall. Now I've just picked up Gedman getting in the way of, I think that's Vermeulen actually. So Vermeulen struggling to actually put his lap in as of yet, but Gedman, undeterred, continues on with his. One of the downsides of being super fast is that no matter what pace you set, or how much gap you give yourself, you might well end up catching somebody in qualifying. As Gedman shortly getting demoted down to P21 after setting his lap. Lap 242 coming towards the line. This is Naisbitt who set the early pace. Doesn't seem to improve from his P7 position at the moment. Fagioli actually dropping it into the 53s now. Cooters, who just jumps up to P20. We'll look for car number 33. How hard is it to find Max Verstappen these days? There is Sharp, who has just finished his lap and is in P11. What's the car score like? 679. Who's yet to set a lap? This is Jay Prentice in his Aston Martin, choosing a late apex coming into the final corner. Out of 39 drivers, puts himself right up in P8 with a fantastic lap at the moment from Andrew Eden, who's splitting the Pro Tier in half with a brilliant time of a 54.9.
We do have Leica just finish the lap, improved massively, but still not enough to overtake Vermeulen.
Vermeulen has only just set that lap. Yeah, only just clearing Leica. Serfontaine is in P12. P11, that's Travaglioli, goes across the line. Don't believe he shortened his deficit there. Car number 7 who's just going all past the line. Car number 22. This is Smith in the Mustang. Shaves about 3 seconds off his time, but still finds himself bottom of the pack for now out of those that have set a time. Handley, our last driver on track that is yet to set a time. So we'll stay on board with him, see what he does. Oh, it'll be questionable whether he's kept that valid. Did just find himself on the wrong side of the white line there. But in GT racing, there's a fair bit of leniency. So let's see how the track has treated him. The fact he's still pushing on does give us hope that there will be a lap set here. Gives the corner apex a very wide berth. Bounce towards the line. No valid lap set, so he must have invalidated round that lap. Picks up Leica, who's going round again, finding himself that close to Vermeulen on time. he will be giving absolutely everything if he thinks he doesn't need that much to make the jump onto pole.
Well, he did just finish a lap there, buddy, but no improvement from Jazzman there.
As Jazzman is running out of time to try and give himself the margin. Like a little bit loose on the rear as he comes around the final corner, but does seem heavily committed to this. As Leica doesn't improve also. Maybe that lost time.
I think Leica was on an out lap there.
Only pushing around as well. Got Thacker still down in P32. Car number 33. Coming around the final bend in the black and green. Pushes towards line from 19 to P12. Great improvement. That puts himself P2 in his class. Car 134 has stopped before the final corner. Who's that?
Mr. G. Brown, I believe.
And he's returned to pits though. Jabino still P29. Not quite as good as he did in the sprint qualifying. Maybe just a man for the high pressure situations.
I was expecting a dig. Oh,
he's still in the wrong car.
Race in there. Sorry there, buddy. We had Cablo, and I didn't quite see who that was.
Clayton.
That was Clayton, yeah.
I just caught the end of that.
Racing and qualifying there.
It was all a bit of fun as long as one of them wasn't actually trying to set a lap. We've got G Sharp crossing the line. No improvement. Pick up Leica, who's definitely on a lap now. Will this be the improvement that he's looking for with Vermeulen not getting his lap really pulled together? But Travaglioli has displaced him. And Leica does not improve, so Vermeulen not on the top spot. Travaglioli, after getting taken out in race 1, comes back with a vengeance and puts a few hundredths between him and Vermeulen. So Vermeulen, with only a few minutes left, has to really pull something at the bag now. It's only a few hundredths. We know he's got this qualifying pedigree in him, but as we enter the final stages, he is not on top. So pressure is now on. Sharp also going round. He is on the second row, but a fair way off this top three. The top three, oh so close. But what about Vermeulen? Vermeulen, who is favoured to be topping almost every single session so far this championship. Is there anything that he can do to maintain his stellar record?
So we had a big improvement lap from Mr. Naismith there, puts himself P10.
So a very, very controlled lap by Vermeulen here. Whereas when we saw Leica set his lap, it was on the absolute ragged edge. Sorry, we did not manage to get that pole lap for you of Travaglioli. But we may well have a pole lap on our hands here. So hopefully this makes up for it. So yeah, super calm, super controlled by Vermeulen. But this is where he needs to put it on the line. He's like an absolute alien with the controls. Explains why he's green. Finally finding the curb on the exit. Got not too much time to find, and he finds extra time. Only a couple of attempts, but that is enough for now. Travaglioli is in the pits and no sign of going out. Leica also in the pits. Sharp also in the pits. Nicelli, no improvement. Eden has got cars behind him pushing him on. As it all gets a bit desperate and qualifying towards the end. As Eden peels off. Ergio goes on. And he's only 0.003 off Eden ahead. But that does look like a track limit that he may have just picked up. He's going to finish the lap anyway.
So Mr. Morgan Grace take P5 there from the Shelley.
That's a great lap. As we do see that Sharp has also improved. What can Urgio do? Doesn't need much to improve. He does not jump Eden. 1, 3, 4. Who are you? Where are you? This is Brown. And powers towards the line he goes. Stays P20. As he tests the barrier, tests another, and one more just to be sure. Cars console, that's 6, 7, 9. This is Prentice in the Aston, which showed to have good race pedigree. So hopefully they'll look to capitalise in it and not just be a one-session wonder. And does jump right up, goes P15. 959, also comes all that. That's Nichelle, cements P6. 215 of Serfontaine. Towards the line, P22 to P20. Got P94. It's Colpitts in the BMW, who want to separate himself from Jabinho Townsend. There was a big battle from before. No, he can't do it. 242 is our last car to cross the line. This is Naisbitt in the Sky McLaren. And goes P8. Brings back the Power 8 in the top 10 for the Pro Tier drivers. So there you have it. Vermeulen, like we ever doubted it, on pole. Leading his competitors by 1.5 tenths. With Leica once again fulfilling the second row, almost an identical top 3 to the previous race. Followed by Sharp, Grace, Nichelle, Harvey and Naisbitt is that top 8, that cemented pro top 8 we were talking about. Eden taking a fantastic silver tier pole, followed by Urgio splitting him from P2 in silver tier. Heymans, then Clayton in P12. DeRick third place in the silver tier, P13. Critelli P14. Prentice P15. Chumakov's taking a AM tier pole in P16, followed by Grape and Cooters with a second place in the AM tier of Sharp in P19. Serfontaine beats off Brown, and then Handley, who's third in class, but he's got quite the battle behind him with Townsend and Jabinho in tow. Then we've got Colpitts, Gedman, Robert, Vanderval, Richings, Cablo makes up the top 30. Then Kokumlakis, Felix, Thacker, Coppens, Smith to P35. And then we have Van Vlotten, Bellameno, Malotti, and Dreadlock Steve, who elected not to set laps. So don't go anywhere, anybody. We have 40 minutes of high-octane action. You saw how dramatic it was in race 1. We've got even more for you. Oh, Gordon Brownsley's got last in class. Going for P7. Is that P7 in your tier or?
I mean, I can't really say much. He's doing better than I ever would, so there's always that positive to it.
I mean, you touch less barriers.
I touch less grass. See, that is racing mentality. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Bear Grylls.
So we don't have long now, only just under 2 minutes before the cars get going again. I will, of course, change out of the super close camera to make sure that we have a nice overhanging camera so you can see all the other takes in full scope. So once again, we'll tell you, make sure you try and get involved in any way you can with FRL, whether it's watching us here, watching any of us throughout the week, Like and subscribe, share with your friends and family and foes, or get involved in the Discord, get racing and all the different games that FRL has to offer, Formula Racing League. Or if you're already here and you're just dropping in to watch your mates for a Race Super Sprint Sunday, if you've been around for a while, maybe you should consider being a Patreon member. Enhance your experience from just as little as £3 a month for your reserved race number that may be dear to you, or if you just want to nick it from somebody else, because, hey, why not? And you get reserved entries for special events, for sign-ups. You can reserve a priority reserve for racing as well. You get your own practice server and all the extra little benefits that we just simply don't get because we're not special. So yeah, not long to go now. The drivers will be readying up in any moment now.
30 seconds.
There you are, 30 seconds is what we've got. That's not quite giving me the camera that I want. There we go. So while the drivers are just doing their formation lap, we're just going to make sure we get the right camera. There we go. So we will be returning to garage to give you all of the action in just 2 seconds.
Go, go, go.
There we go. Vermeulen once again gets a great start. Travaggio inside. Leica again showing interest. Leica just seems to have a lot more of an inside line here, but he has to brake hard. He does not trust. He's not going to get rear-ended. All the cars bunch up aggressively as we have spinners in the back.
Oh, sharp there.
Multiple cars and then cars come across. That was a bit of a naughty re-entry for the BMW there.
Caught as well.
As we've got so many wide. Oh, and that is Heyman's down and out at the back. Leica does seem to have got past Travaglioli, but Vermeulen's dropped back. Vermeulen's in P3. Sorry, we missed that, everybody, whilst we were trying to catch the action at the back. But Vermeulen, we're coming back at this like a scolded dog.
There's a big moment there somewhere because the Shelley's dropped right down the order there. Started probably top 10, is all the way down to P19 there. Oh, big crash there between Gedman and a BMW from what I can see.
So many cars in the back. Cars coming across the grass. That's Cablo who had to take the grass to avoid. Cablo who looks like he's probably going to get swamped up here. We have side-by-side action. We've got Jabino trying to go round the outside of Coppens. He goes off track to come back on. I'm not sure how legal that was. And now this Townsend trying to come up the inside. A bit further back from that, we've got Thacker in the Porsche trying to go around the outside of the Ferrari of Sharp. So despite all the carnage, nobody actually retiring, as that's a BMW.
Ooh,
of Felix.
Oh,
as we got
saw
big
Jay
pile up.
Thacker getting rear-ended from a Mustang of K. Smith there. And another car getting caught up in that as well, but I think they just about managed to avoid it.
I think we're going to have a move from
Ooh,
Sharp here.
slightly further up, we had Van der Waal big on the brakes. Just about managed to avoid. I think that was Richings and Q Robert there.
Oh, as Cablo then taps the rear of Van der Waal. It's all kicking off as we've got another dive from the inside of Cablo. That's Van Vlotten. Brings Coppens into the mix.
Ooh,
now we have been neglecting.
I'm not quite sure what's going on here, buddy, but Leica has dropped down to P4.
So it's all kicking off at the front as well. Vermeulen promoted to P2. This has allowed Harvey into the mix. Where's he come from? And I've also picked up Clayton, who's hot on the heels of Eden. So much chaos to try and stay on top of. Anybody would think we were going around the Nordschleife. Clayton attempting to line this one up. He's looking confident.
I think you're about a week early for that one, buddy.
Picked up Grafe. Big Barge versus Big Barge. He's trying to defend from Handley in the BMW. Oh, as I've gone backwards, sorry, and I've seen Van der Waal go wide, but that's disrupted Cablo's entry into the corner, and Van Vlotten didn't know quite what to do with it, and that's caught him out as well. But Cablo with the power, big closing speed on Van der Waal. I don't think it's going to be quite enough. As further forward, that was Richings in the Ferrari going around the outside of Q Robert. And Jabino
has now got Jabino right on the back of him.
And that was a car off on the inside of turn 3. Just seemed to have rejoined. Oh, as they then see Leica overtaking Harvey, but Harvey went quite deep through turn 6. Not sure if that was instigated. As we have one car finally gone to the pits. 717. That is Heyman's.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for him to have been caught up in that drama from turn 1.
3 Astons line astern here. Clayton, Critelli, Prentice. Drivers do finally seem to have settled in. Now Vermeulen, now having dropped Leica and Harvey, can start to focus on his fight back to P1. But with Ferrari power and Ferrari power, I'm not sure how easy it's going to be. Travaglioli, who was robbed of his opportunity to fight for this in the first race with that collision with Leica into turn 2, will not give this up to Vermeulen very easily. But Leica does seem to be coming back ever so slightly. Vermeulen closing with every single corner.
They're just slightly behind that, buddy. We've got a good battle there between Ergio, Derek and Grace there. So Derek put in a driver between him and his competition rival Eden for the silver tier.
And Grace does look quite feisty though. But I'll go back because Vermeulen getting within car lengths of the lead. Many people would consider this just a formality that Vermeulen was going to come back, but Travaglioli, I don't think there's any red-blooded racing driver that wants to give this up easily, especially with how dominant Vermeulen's been, trying to get one over on the man. Travaglioli's lines are good, but Vermeulen just seems to be carrying that much more pace. They start to head down the hill towards the chicane. Who can carry more speed in chicane, but will it even get there? Vermeulen shows his nose to the inside, losing a bit of speed, but lets Travaglioli know that he's there. Wasn't the best final turn by Travaglia there, but he does seem to go just enough space. He might survive for a few more corners. This pressure that Vermeulen's putting on is significant. Vermeulen looks like he's making every single corner look like an overtaking opportunity. So anybody else?
So just how much he closes up on the braking.
Got Sharp looking like he might have a move on Giobbino here into the first turn. Sharp brakes deep. Oh, as we see two cars. Oh my goodness, how's there not been a huge accident there? Oh my word. So Sharp there making two moves in one corner when it all looked like there was going to be a huge accident. We go back to this battle for the lead. It's only 2/10. And Leica is really starting to drop off now. This pace in the front two is relentless. What can Travaglia do through the Schumacher S? Oh, as Vermeulen gets alongside, he's going to be on the outside for the next turn. Can Travaglia carry the speed through and get past him? Yes, he can. He refines his position out in front for the moment. But Vermeulen's going to find speed off that curve. Travaglia needs to cover off every line that he can. Travaglia finds confidence on the brake to send it deeper than Vermeulen. Stays ahead for the moment. And Travaglia does seem to have a lot better exit off the final turn that time around. He just seems to have this straight covered. Just picked up Clayton in the Aston Martin, picking up the slipstream of Eden down the main straight. Eden getting a little bit of a tow from De Rick just ahead.
So we do then have Critelli in the Aston Martin closing in behind Clayton as well. Big battle for the silver tier at the minute.
Critelli looking super brave on the brakes. Clayton equally as impressive, holding this gap to Eden, trying to keep the pressure on. The lead still not changing places. Travaglia having held Vermeulen up for 10 minutes now, was to keep it up for as long as possible. But I think this is starting to hurt both their pace now. Leica has just found close to a second on them. That's the last thing Vermeulen wants, is to be looking in his mirrors whilst he's trying to get this position back. Travaglia goes centre of the road again, quite defensive. Oh, but Vermeulen's done much better on the Coca-Cola curve that time around. Look how much he's closed in. Slipstream will be much more powerful.
Do a feint into turn one here.
We saw it in the last race, not from Vermeulen, but he's going for it. Deep on the brakes, can he make the corner? He can. Can Travaglia find the speed on the exit? He's still got the inside line. Great defence there, letting the sequence play out. Vermeulen goes deep again on the second part of the arena. Travaglia still has the line advantage, but it's being compromised on speed. Leica is gotten so close here. It's only a matter of time. I mean, is it in Travaglia's interest, we think, to maybe push Vermeulen back into Leica?
Quite possibly, buddy. We'll see the time gain as they do come down into the Dunlop curve.
Yeah, another second.
Another second.
But all the same, Vermeulen, for all the time he's losing to Leica, he is making Travaglioli think. The move looks more and more likely on Travaglioli for every second he loses to Leica. Travaglioli again has to try and carry Speedy. It's a bit of a snap of the Schumacher S. Now this chicane has been his forte. He has had a lot of speed over Vermeulen here, but it's the next bit. It's the hairpin that is the final corner that he's been struggling and allowing Vermeulen to start to pick him off down the straight. But with almost 15 minutes past, it's a great job that he's done. Vermeulen surely is too far back to try something here. Maybe just an alternative line through the corner. Yeah, let's have a look who else is doing bits up and down the field. You see Brown catching Gedman. Battle of the admins. Brown has found immense speed at the final turn, and it looks like Gedman is an absolute sitting duck. The usually all-powerful Porsche on the accelerator has been outdriven by Brown.
Keeps him honest on his line though. Still there.
Brown is still there as well. If he can find this outside line speed, he can. He's going to send it quite deep on the brakes if he's going to make this work, but he's gone a bit too wide. He's still there. Still there. Great racing, showing everybody else how it's done. But they can make an example out of each other, but if they let Richings take them for kippers, they're still going.
It's like the Bentley rolling block that we had from Barcelona, but it's just Porsche and Honda.
But can Richings
driving there from Gedman there?
Even better one from Richings. Richings going to move round the outside here. Thinks better of it. Have one more look at the lead. It does look like Travaglioli has got this a bit more under control than we originally gave him credit for. Oh no, as he goes across the grass, commentators curse Vermeulen down the inside. Travaglioli tries to find speed again, throws it to the outside, but Leica is now right there. Oh, Vermeulen goes defensive all the way to the inside. I don't think he needs to do that. Travaglioli lost loads of speed there. But now, just in time, just as Leica was catching this, Vermeulen makes his strike, gets the position back into the lead during qualifying.
Slightly further down, buddy, we've got Nishelli and Handley side by side down the start straight. I think Nishelli got a slightly better run, but I wouldn't put the BMW boat out of contention into turn one.
Well, he has to avoid the Mustang ahead. Very good on the brakes on them. Picks up Urgio, who's chasing down Naisbitt. McLaren versus McLaren for P5. But Naisbitt does seem to have this one covered quite well. Now we go back to the lead Aston Martin in the central pack. Clayton, who's tethered to the back of Eden. Goes quite deep in the corner though. Maybe tries to go for his... Oh, what a slingshot. Incredible speed he's found. He goes up to the Mercedes curve. No, I think that's the Schumacher S. This coming up is the Mercedes curve. But all that speed he found dissipated in the defence from Eden. Allows Critelli to come back at them as well. With Prentice a little bit further behind, just waning from this battle. Clayton understandably getting frustrated. I think you can see there's a lot more pace in that car. He's just got to play his cards right. Not quite the exit he was hoping for.
Oh, speaking of McLaren on McLaren, Naisbitt is in the wall. He's returned to pits.
That originally was the battle with Urgio. P5, yes, Urgio goes through. See if we can get a nose shot of his car. Seems clean. But whatever happened there, Grace is much closer than he was before. Congratulations, doing a great job to hold on to Vermeulen here after giving that position up. You can see Clayton getting so frustrated. He's so close every single lap. But this is about as close as I've seen him. There's a little look down the inside. It's not really a corner to go diving down the inside. You've not got much room to send your opponent out wide. But he gets this great drive off the Dunlop curve again. Through the Senna S, the Schumacher S, wrong country. The Mustang does just seem to struggle with the Mercedes curve. Clayton still pushing for it. But it looks like Eden got a good defence on. So aggressive is Clayton. It's really slowing him down. It's shown with how much Bratelli's able to close up. But Eden really playing this well, getting his acceleration down just to a T.
Oh, slightly further back, I thought we was going to have a bit of a lunge from Giobbino there. And Van der Waal coming around the final corner. Giobbino, even as you say, is in the wrong car, trying to fight Van der Waal for P24. Slightly further back, you've got Korkalakis as well.
Korkalakis looking to the inside. Trying the BMW go a little bit deep on the brakes, but makes the corner. And it looks like the BMW of Filomeno is getting held up a little bit by Chumakov's. I go forward to Brown, who's picked up Colpitts. Or picked up Gedman, sorry. Brown in the Honda. He's been making progress so far. That's an audacious dive. Oh, he touches his nose on the rear of Gedman. This battle that's gone on for a while now. We thought earlier on that Brown had got this one long done. But multi-corner battles has meant that Gedman's still frustrated and behind the Porsche of Gedman. But now so Adam Sharp is part of the party.
Sharp, yeah. Former Honda driver as well. Has
that's a snap from Gedman. Brown's seen that. He's gone to the inside. He's trying to use the extra speed. Gets on the curb. He's side by side. He's on the wrong side of the track to make a dive on the inside of the chicane. But he's going to try for the cutback. He's going to try and carry the speed into the Coca-Cola curve. Lex for a wide line. Moves it out. What's his drive like? It's good. It's good. Gedman goes for a good defensive line. Returns to the racing line. That's his moves done. There's got to be a move from Brown here. He elects to pull out nice and early. It was very deep. Can he get it stopped? Kind of not. Now Sharp's there now. He's left himself vulnerable. Gedman stays committed, uses the speed to cut across his nose. Oh, as we up ahead, we've missed it. Vermeulen has been overtaken by Travaglioli.
I did notice earlier that Leica dropped off a little bit, but I thought it just might have been a little mistake. But Travaglioli has got in front of Vermeulen once again.
Honestly, Travaglioli, this is not any sort of favouritism. Last time we checked, he was pulling away. We seem to catch everything positive Vermeulen's doing, nothing positive Travaglioli's doing. But Vermeulen, once again, struggling in the second race. Maybe a setup change that just has not gone quite right.
Or just the persistency of Travaglioli. I think race 1 he wasn't there. So Vermeulen just put on cruise control and thought nothing of it. He's actually got to work for it this time, which is great for us to see on the big screen.
So yeah, once again, no doubt that Vermeulen is happy to share the spotlight, but he's never out of it. So much closing on the brakes. There's just no breathing room for Travaglioli at all.
Oh, I think Brown's made a mistake there somewhere, buddy. He's dropped 2 places. Q Robert and Richings have now got past Mr. G Brown. He's trying to fight Q Robert and keep his car off the grass. Makes a change
No,
saying
he's
that.
not.
He's normally on the grass.
He loves the stuff. Brown really find a move around the outside. He's tried a very, very wide line. But Robert looks like he's made the corner, made it well. The only way forward would have been through Robert's car, but that's not doable. Brown doesn't have the speed around the outside. Try an outside move, so that's another position lost for Brown. I picked up Clayton, still tucked up behind Eden. Every single time I go to this battle, they are just absolutely locked in. Surely there's got to be some pressure that Clayton can put on. A thrown nose somewhere. And Vermeulen, close as ever. 1.5 tenths. Travaglioli, an aced braking hit, should give him everything that he needs to chase him down the straight. It's the same power.
He's going to get. He's defended well.
Slightest toe. So Travaglioli doing very, very well here to keep this up. Grace has also managed to fill the gap that was left by Naisbit, closed up on the back of Urgio. Urgio. I don't know what came over me.
You had a bit of a brain fuzz there, right?
I did. Oh, as we catch Travaglioli going a little bit deep in turn 6. Vermeulen likes the look of this. He's closing really tight up. Does he dare through the Dunlop curve? He doesn't. Travaglioli goes wide. Will he get a slingshot, or is it just all space for Vermeulen? He does get back ahead. Well planned use of the slingshot. It's not always wise. It does open up your inside, but if you find the speed on the outside and a line to follow, it does work. But he's gone a little bit deep into the Mercedes S. Vermeulen up his inside again. But Travaglioli using the outside line, the speed that you can generate from there. Travaglioli defensive with the track initially, but Vermeulen shows his nose to the inside. Travaglioli more than happy to just continue beating Vermeulen on the brakes into the final chicane. So Vermeulen just as close as he was last time round. Don't expect there to be a move.
I might have to interrupt you here. A real tight battle once again. Handley, Michele and Grafe pretty much glued to each other.
So Handley in the BMW, Grafe in the Mustang, Michele in the Ferrari. It's like Grafe does seem to be the cork in the bottle in this one, but does just enough on his exits to not be concerned down the straights. Ooh, as Handley has to get out from underneath Gray, goes wide. Does this allow Nishelli into this? Don't think it does. Nishelli, I don't think, saw that mistake coming. Oh, as he dives down the inside of the second part of the arena. What a move! Scares Handley out of it. Can he find speed around the outside? Oh, has to take avoiding action from Handley there. He's still there. Looks like he's a bit scared for the BMW. Big barge like that, I guess, why wouldn't you be?
Well, especially on a track for in a German country against a German car, I don't think I'd be very brave of pushing against that, would you?
But he is. He's going to the Dunlop curb on the inside. It's a very, very tight, respectful line. Just managed to get his nose ahead. Does he allow the BMW up back the inside? No, he does not. He gets it covered off. Great move there by Nishelli. Real smart watching of his proximity monitor. As Vermeulen just slightly dropped off now with this beginning of a Travaglioli gapping Vermeulen. Not often you say that.
You're about to get that put on the bingo card next week.
I think that would probably end up rubbing something off the bingo card. Oh, Clayton has got past Eden. Down the straight, Clayton has got past Eden, leaving Critelli to try and pick up the scraps. Critelli goes super deep. Critelli dives down the inside. Has he got it stopped? He does. Has this sent Eden out wide enough? Not quite yet. Eden is still there. This is allowing Clayton to get away. Oh, Critelli had a real opportunity there, but I just don't think he could quite find the traction to make the real bravery on the brakes stick. Not too far from the lead. Urgio is being pressured by Grace. Really got on the brakes by Grace, but that McLaren is just a little bit more nimble around the bend of Dunlop curve. So the battle for lead still going. Vermeulen tightening the gap, but it's still manageable for Travaglioli as they enter the final 10 minutes. Critelli hopefully having a shot at Eden. Hopefully that won't be his last, as Clayton did a great job. Always showed he had the speed and is making it show. Now he's out from behind Eden.
So a battle that's still gone on for a little while. Sharp is trying to get past Gedman.
He's very close. He's got closing speed. To the chicane. Gedman has had a moment. Oof. Ooh, then he's gone to cover it. Oof. Gedman has not got a good exit there. His line was all out of sorts. Sharp has got loads of speed. He's got slipstream. Can he get the line to challenge? He's over the marbles. It's now or never. Throws it in. Sends Gedman as deep as he's allowed. They tap doors. Oh! As Gedman comes off the line to hit Sharp there, and now Sharp has lost out to Richings, and he might lose out to Brown as well. No, Brown just took him behind. Grace in the BMW, very close to Urgio still. But it only looks like the BMW really make any impression unless he can start catching on the straight. As I've just caught Travaglioli going a little bit wide on the final corner, and Vermeulen did close in that. but he did go in with a bit of a margin. But this is very close. 3/10 of the gap for Mullen does seem to be closing. It's weaving to show he's there.
Oh, slightly further down, buddy. You've got Grace and Urgio there. Urgio had a bit of a moment there through the second chicane there. Grace capitalising, but so gets a great final corner and reinstates that gap.
And Clayton, who was well off Derrick before, now within a second of Derrick. It's been a long time coming, this. Oh, as Clayton almost takes out Derrick, really deep on the brakes. Oh, as Vermeulen almost side by side with Travaglioli there. They're going to go down towards the Dunlop curve with Vermeulen almost pushing Travaglioli along. He sends Travaglioli onto a tighter entry line, and then Travaglioli misses his braking, goes onto the gravel. Vermeulen is through.
And once again, buddy, that's not putting the spotlight on Vermeulen either. We've got nothing against you, I promise.
But it's been such a great fight for Travaglioli there. Oh, was it Grace? Look, he was about to have a good exit then and just tickled the gravel on the outside. But Vermeulen couldn't believe his luck. His tyres are starting to get a little worn now as you see multiple drivers drifting away from their lines through the corners. Clayton, great work he's doing on catching Derrick. Clayton did seem that he was out of position for quite a while with the speed that he's shown all race behind seemingly slower cars. But here he goes with less than 3/10 gap. Probably the fastest car in the game right now, and the slipstream coming down the main straight. It's probably not going to be quite close, but what can he do on the brakes here to really close this gap? Chooses a much more sensible line than Derrick, who goes defensive. And then seems it just shimmies the car through turn 2. Clayton seemingly king of the pressure at the moment. Grace is still closed up even more. But it does seem like he's starting to struggle with his tyres through the corners. More than happy to use the grunt from the Beamer. Just needs to position it well to really get a good drive on Urgio if he's going to make anything like this stick.
Oh, sorry buddy, slightly further down we've got Richings going through the inside of G Brown there to take P21. Good move from him.
As he then catch Brown having a wiggle over the exit curb. And they're just right at the back. Just picked Dreadlock Steve spearing into Thacker. Oh no, that was into Coppens. Oh no, he's being speared by Coppens. We will get it right in the end. And then further up, Brown immediately back on the hunt on Richings. Into the Mercedes S. Now, will Gedman be friend or foe to Brown here? Could hold them up, he could stretch them out, but Brown seems to want to play in the dust a little bit more. And I've gone on board with Grafe, who's up the rear of Cooters, who's now super close on the back of Serpentine. So this battle, the P13 really hotting up. Look at the run Grave has. He shows his nose to the inside, spooks the Ferrari a little bit, sends him a little bit wide, but he's not there to cut inside him. And this is dividing a Shelley into this. And now Prentice has found Eden. Eden, who has lost a few positions now. And Clayton did get past to Rick. We did miss that. It seems that so many positions being taken by Team Aston Martin tonight. As Prentice lines one up on here on Eden. I have to consider it's too tight a corner to really be throwing one down the inside, especially got to turn so quick. As Vermeulen finally doing what we expected of him and starting to put a gap on Travaglioli.
It did look like a little bit there that Travaglioli was being held up by a lap car there. Oh, Richards has a big snap. That does invite G. Brown in front to the Mercedes S corner, but Richards still on the inside. He just about pushes Brown out there.
So Richards does seem to be carrying more speed. I don't think it's going to be quite enough into the final chicane. Brown having a little bit of a wiggle. Richards has not given up on this. But he might do when he sees his exit. Serfontaine still not out of the woods yet. Got Cooters all over the back of him. And then Shelley, it's a great drive there. Grafe ahead of him, gets a big snap. But then covers off the line heading into turn 5. So Grafe really struggling this race to keep cars behind him. And Shelley finds speed once again. What can he set up from the Dunlop curve? As we have Vermeulen rounding the final corner to bring to an end race 2. The man who's seen the 100% record brings it home to win both races. Super Sunday round 6. Travaglioli, what a fight he put up. Leica just couldn't hold on to it for quite long enough. Harvey had a race all by himself in P4, so what a great job by him. Urgio made good moves, yet to see if an incident is coming his way for any collisions with Naisbitt, with Grace keeping him honest all the way to the end. Clayton made good moves, quite a few, to bring himself back up into the pro roster at the top. And Derrick wins the silver tier, well done to him, followed by Critelli and Eden, who lost positions, but still a good result for him. And Sharp with an AM tier win, so congratulations. And then Prentice, Serfontaine, who will just see off Cooters and Grafe. And they're starting to come across the line faster than I can click to. Oh, as we have a challenge to the line, and that was Brown getting past Gedman at the very end.
And behaving sensibly as always. I see them crashing into both the barriers that they can't inspect.
Got Korkobalakis coming towards the line now with Felix.
Oh no.
And
I don't know if I want to say anything about that, Mr. Brown. I've just watched you drive down the pit straight and hit 3 cars intentionally.
we can enter the chat with us tutting at him. So there you have it, everybody. There is your rundown. Thank you for joining us for 2 exciting, brilliant, energetic field races to whet your appetite for your Sunday evening. We usually get a couple of people drop in to the chat for a bit of a post-race debrief, so don't go anywhere if you want to hear from your race winner, who's very much making it the Jazzman podcast at the end of the races. So please hang on in there. Oh, he's going to be back in 3 minutes. Seemingly, he's needing a smoke after the stress that Travaglioli caused him. But maybe we'll get Mr. Brown in before he gets here. So yeah, fantastic. That was a fantastic race. Everybody was so glad you were along for the ride. I'm just going to grab the replay because we're nosy, you see. And we're going to watch it back afterwards a little bit.
I mean, it takes Greg longer than what you guys take on a Sprint Sunday race to navigate the menu buttons on the replay mode, but we do like to have a nosy and see what we missed, and we can report back maybe for the finale next week.
Yeah, so it's all come down to the finale next week, and we cannot wait. I mean, we expect Vermeulen is away ahead, but you know what? In big racing like this, the point system can swing quite significantly. So we hope you're there to witness either jubilation or disaster for Vermeulen and everybody else that's chasing glory in the FRL Super Sprint Sunday Championship. But yeah, it's hard. I think for the simple challenge that he managed to bring for Vermeulen this evening, I think I'd have to give my drive of the day to Travaglioli after
100%.
having that big disaster in race 1 to then be as committed as he was at race 2 to keep it clean and to keep the fight on Vermeulen right to the very end. I do suspect that 3.5 second deficit he found at the end of the race was mostly down to just exhaustion and giving up, because Vermeulen barely gave him a moment's peace. I'd never think that gap was over a second at any point in the race when he was ahead, other than when Leica got between them. And as we mentioned him, here he is.
Hello. How you guys doing?
Now, you were kept honest in that second race, weren't you?
Yeah, man. I got bullied in the opening lap there. And then it was a good battle. I finally got past Travioli, and then I go do the same mistake a couple of laps later, letting him back through. So it was an eventful one, an eventful race, but I enjoyed it. That was the most fun I've had this season.
Yeah, I mean, I bet without sounding hard, I bet you were kind of relieved in a way that to see him not challenge you in race 1 with the incident that happened behind.
Yeah. I think I just had him and me with our car. It's quite good, yeah, even with the 13 kilos. So we definitely would have had a race in race 1. I did have a bit extra pace, and I looked like I had better tyre wear because it would have been an interesting race. So it was unlucky what happened to him in the first race. All I saw was him and Leica. Something happened, and then I just saw Ferrari going right. So that was so that was unfortunate. But yeah, man, it was good fun today. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. So talk us. We didn't quite catch on stream. We are at post commentary going to look at it on the replay. But talk us through what lost you those 2 positions in the first lap or so, and in race 2.
So Travioli, I gave him some space, and then he was on my inside for the second part of the next corner, and he was a bit robust, and he door-to-door contact, nothing big, but that pushed me wide, and then that allowed Leica through. And then I just kind of went about the race from there. But these things, it's just close racing, things happen.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed really clean from the pair of you throughout. We did see a few door bangs later in the race as well, but nothing too dramatically unsettling.
A door bang like there, it's fine. He had the inside. He just ran a bit deep in the second corner, then that hit me and forced me wide. But that's okay. In ACC, you would rather be hit door to door than
axle to axle.
Yeah, it just touches you, and then you just go to the end. Go to barrier. So door to door touching's fine, man. That's okay. That's racing.
So obviously we saw him get back past you as well. And then for several laps, it really looked like he was going to bring it home and really see you
Yeah,
off. But then he just went deep into Dunlop.
yeah. So once he got back through after my mistake, I had a chance to get him right back into turn one, but I went deep. Um, and then yeah, then I was a bit aggressive on the traction control, and then my rears were getting a bit warm. So then I had to try and get those under control and mount another attack. But briefly after it looked like, okay, he's there. Hopefully my tires come back, because otherwise, no, I wouldn't have been able to challenge him because my rear was coming very loose. But luckily, run a bit higher traction control, got the rears back. And then, yeah, I mean, it's kind of what I did in turn one with him. He had the corner, but he just broke too late. Like, I wasn't going to try go around the outside. So I was just like, well, hopefully he breaks late. I was like, hopefully he does, then I can just cut in underneath. And luckily for me, that's what happened.
Yeah, I mean it was something we had to flip back to time and time again um, with you guys, and yeah, I think we may have issued a commentator's curse towards the start of the race the first time you got past. Um, we probably
Yeah,
owe him an apology for that.
yeah, no, but I mean, that second to final, the second to last corner
Mm.
in the Ferrari, if you just hit the inside curbs of either one, just at the wrong angle, it bounces you off. So that's how I got past him in the first place. He did that mistake, and then I was pushing a bit on to get the gap up. I had it to like 1.9, and then I went in with confidence, and then I did the same thing as he did, and then he came through, and then so we both did mistakes there, and yeah, I was lucky that I just had, I think, again, I had better tire wear, and I just had a tiny bit more pace that allowed me to put him under more pressure. Luckily for me.
Yeah, very, very well. We say luckily for you, but luck doesn't win the last however many rounds on the bounce. So we have
Yeah,
to
I
call it
was
something else.
doing quick maths. I think that makes me champione. Woohoo!
Well,
Uh,
congratulations. We'll obviously wait
yeah,
for confirmation and classification for that, but if that is true,
yeah,
in advance, congratulations.
yeah. And once again, guys, thank you for streaming, and I hope you enjoyed the battle at the front today. It was nice.
We very much did. For the first time in a while, we actually deemed it reasonable to cover you for more than the first lap and the last lap.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll finally get some coverage, man, this season. I'm looking forward to it.
You're just getting some coverage because you weren't as quick. You had to
Yeah,
battle
yeah.
people.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's fine. These things happen. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. It's great in racing. You never quite know when your next challenge is going to come, whether it's going to be your fault or somebody else's gain or advantage. These things come and find you on track. But I bet today you were quite happy to be at the front and not in the middle, because I tell you, race two, we thought a bomb had dropped with the amount of cars that were obliterated and facing the wrong way. So it was a bit of a mess back behind you. It's kind of glad. I bet you were glad it was all cleared by the time you came back round.
Oh, well, turn the usual turn one at the Nurbergring type vibes.
It was mostly turn two, actually.
Yeah, turn two. That also gets you. I mean, it got me today. Um, it can, yeah, and it just takes one guy to get turned round, and if he gets turned round on track, there's just nothing you can do. It's just, how's it? Give me some damage. Let's ruin all our races today.
But no, as ever, it's joy commentating over you, and obviously all the best for the remainder of the championship, because obviously, regardless of champion or not, I'm assuming you'd very much like a clean sweep going into the next round to really
Yeah,
cap off
yeah.
the championship.
Yeah, man, it's the Nurbergring, so it's a good track for my car. So I'm looking forward to it, the Nordschleife.
Yeah, this is where me and Retro try and roughly remember 127 corners or whatever it is
173, isn't it?
I think it's a 78. That's 178, is it?
No.
Oh, that's 170 something. I'm a lot closer
Yeah,
than
I
what you
think-
said, 130.
I think it's 178 because I memorize it. I just go corner 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't have time to memorize all those corner names, man.
So it is. Oh, it says the Nurbergring has between 154 and 170 corners, depending on what part of the track is being considered and how the corners are counted.
Okay, well, we're close. We're close, guys. We're close. We'll take it.
Oh, well, thank you very much for joining us, and we are going to round off the stream now.
All right, guys. Thank you, and I'll see you guys next week. Cheers.
See you
Yeah,
then.
mate. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Bye.
So that's it, everybody. You've had your second to last instalment of Season 16's Sprint Sunday Championship. And we'll catch you next week for the last one. As ever, make sure to like, share, and subscribe this stream, the channel, and to join the Discord if sim racing and FRL whets your appetite. And if you're already here and you're looking to get even more involved, do join that Patreon we mentioned earlier. Have a good night, everyone. See you next week. Bye.